Hello, my special friends. Do not postulate the future on what has happened in the past. Don't be surprised if the most advanced discoveries that you are going to make, which are going to change this planet profoundly, have nothing to do with artificial intelligence or massive amounts of computing. You might say it's back to basics because some of the best inventions will be using patterns and basic physics that were always there but which you just haven't thought of yet. Cryon, what are you talking about? The end of batteries and the grid. Let me talk about the magnetic energy wheel. It might be two or even three wheels, but there is a simple pattern, an array of magnets that, when placed correctly, can keep a wheel spinning forever. Using the simple push-pull energy of small or large magnets together in a specific array, you can keep this wheel going forever. You're aware, or you're not, that natural magnets are very powerful, and they push and they pull with a great deal of force, with no rest or refresh time, and no side effects, and no fuel. This is a huge secret. Why have you not seen this before? Put them together in an array where they will push and pull against each other and spin whatever size wheel you wish until the end of time. All you have to do is oil the bearings occasionally. Have you thought of that? Dear ones, listen. If you can make something spin, you can connect it to an electric generator. Electricity in any quantity forever. I want you to think of what this means. Imagine no batteries. Cryon, what are you talking about? You've got to have batteries. Dear ones, that statement is so yesterday. Imagine your favorite device, a phone perhaps. What if, instead of a battery, it had a tiny, miniature, spinning magnetic motor that powered the device in real time, forever? Not only are there no batteries in the future, but no charging anything. Every electronic thing you have has its own tiny, spinning generator built in. Cryon, how big can this wheel be? Well, let's think. Everything I have said can be enlarged. So, instead of a battery in an electric car, there is a larger spinning electric engine underneath, always supplying electricity to what we will now call supercapacitance. You will always have enough electricity to go for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles without ever stopping. And even while you sleep, electricity is still being generated to the supercap. It never stops. Cryon, I still don't understand how all this is going to change the entire planet. Dear ones, I'm talking about individual power for every single building that exists on the planet, without being connected to any grid. No wires and no outside source. No weather pattern will ever shut down a city again or cause those to die because they can't get electricity, because it's right outside in a little spinning motor that never stops and always is running to power whatever is needed. Magnetics is the answer. It's free, instant, and mobile electricity for all. Every continent on this planet could have as much electricity as they wanted or needed to instantly power villages, hospitals, communications, teaching, through the internet, and more. The internet would work no matter what. Can you imagine when everybody could talk to everybody? Cultures and continents would start healing themselves and would finally start to be educated. All of this can happen from one undiscovered pattern, a magnetic array. Putting those magnets together so they will push and pull in a way that they will spin forever can be customizable to any size, miniaturized or massive. They can power ships and cars, and they go forever. There is no resource that is easier and safer to use to power this planet than magnetics. No natural resources are burned, no pollution, and entirely safe. Cryon, this can work. Cryon, if I had this invention, there are forces out there who would never let it be developed. I would be afraid to have it. The power companies of the planet will buy it and pocket it because they want to sell what they've got. They will never let this happen. Let's stop for a moment, dear ones. This is not your father's world. What have I told you about change for the past 30 years? Do not postulate the future on what has happened in the past. The shift is changing the consciousness of the planet. Right now, the power companies over your land are in a trouble. Fossil fuel is in a trouble. If you haven't noticed, nuclear power, the former holy grail of power, has shown itself clearly to be exceptionally dangerous. Every one of the accepted mass power generation systems is failing. I will tell you that the power companies of this land, even if they are using steam or wind or sunlight, are all anxious for this invention. It's simple, efficient, no huge investment needed, and they will then be the ones to manufacture and sell the units, improving them and finding more and more uses to free all of you from any kind of power greed. So I am telling you, it's a new world, and those in the power business will be the first to want to use this, the highest and the most powerful force of humanity. Let me give you my favorite one. There are things that this body of yours does, which has only to do with consciousness, nothing else. In the last 20 years, there has been a revelation of proof. Consciousness is energy. It can alter physics. This realization was not always thought to be the case. In the past, consciousness was something esoteric, not well definable, and it didn't belong in physics. Now it does. There is now a slow awareness that consciousness absolutely must be considered energy. think, if consciousness is energy, then, like all other physical energies, there must be rules or axioms. It becomes predictive science. When you start to figure that out and you understand what those are, you will have some profound answers to some of the greatest mysteries of healed. The energy of consciousness is the reason for the placebo effect. Someone takes a sugar-coated pill, and they are told that the pill is going to create a cure. And then it does. What is the process? How is that possible? Someone takes a homeopathic tincture, chemistry that is too small to create a chemical reaction, yet it cures. What is happening? How does that work? The answer is the energy and the physics of consciousness, combined with something called mirror neurons. What the body sees and expects, it often creates by itself. Perhaps you see someone else eating a meal and you salivate. That's consciousness over chemistry, their wants. Have you ever wondered if mirror neurons could play a powerful and larger part in the coming system of healing? What if you could convince your body that it was healing? Mirror neurons can tell the difference between what you believe or what is happening chemically. Therefore, consciousness instructs the body to heal itself, and it does. Now you understand how spontaneous remission may work. When you convince the body that the healing is occurring, it believes it so completely that it heals itself. This will be a new healing process. It will be the best of any that ever existed, using the energy of consciousness in a new, measurable, scientific ways. No artificial intelligence, no super high-tech advancements. Instead, this becomes the revelation of what you as humans have always had, powerful. I want you to ponder these chants because they are in the field. Do you think when science discovered that consciousness is energy, they just left it alone? No, they wanted to find out more about what it is. The first thing they realized is that they are dealing with a multidimensional energy. Indeed, science may not think immediately about the self-healing potentials that exist, but eventually they will. How long will it take? That's up to you. How many of you believe these things? For the belief itself, you might say, is a transmitter of reality, because when you believe something, you can make it happen. Chants are coming to this planet, their wants, and I have told you this. We continue to tell you about the ones that will enhance humanity, and there will come a time when the last thing you will ever want to do to each other is to kill one another. There is precedent for this in other places that I have talked about, so I have seen it. I have seen it. I am 𝐁𝐞𝐜𝐚, in love with humanity, and so it is 𝐁𝐞𝐜𝐚, channeled by Lee Carroll.